live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
I saw the post today about 3-year-olds getting it, and I was like, no way. That's way just too young.
U.S. health officials weigh the idea of vaccinating young children against COVID. Local parents outline what needs to happen before rolling up their little ones' sleeves.
Illinois' job growth now outpaces the national job growth.
As he campaigns for re-election, Governor J.B. Pritzker says Illinois families and businesses will get a break if lawmakers pass his $45 billion budget plan.
Plus, furry forecasters come out of hiding. Gifted groundhogs determine if winter will drag on or if we'll see an early spring. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. In a matter of weeks, babies as young as 6 months old could be vaccinated against COVID. Yesterday, Pfizer asked the FDA to approve the shot for children younger than 5.
But some state-line parents aren't so sure of the idea. Rachel Perry spoke with a few families, and Rachel, some shared their concerns.
Mimi and Eric, I'm told it's a toss-up between long-term effects and feeling forced to get it. One of those parents tells me it's going to take a lot for her to say yes.
And they're pushing it on children, and I don't feel it's safe.
A fear of too many unknowns is why Erin Drager says she won't get her 3-year-old vaccinated from COVID-19.
The long-term effects, we don't know if it can harm them in the long run, if it can cause any, long-term problems.
The FDA is considering allowing kids as young as 6 months get Pfizer's COVID shots.
Importantly, this vaccine is specifically formulated for kids under the age of 5. So we're working closely with states, local health departments, pediatricians, families, doctors.
Officials argue it's an urgent public health need for the 19 million children currently unable to get the shot. If approved, eligible children under 5 would get 2 child-sized doses of the vaccine. Drager says it would take a lot to change her mind.
Maybe if I was not allowed to send her to daycare, because she does go to daycare when I work, maybe if they did a mandate, I might have to change my mind, but then I would still look for somewhere that maybe didn't have the mandate, so I didn't have to get her vaccinated.
In a statement, Dr. Sandra Martell with the Winnebago County Health Department writes, "We understand families have struggled with protecting the youngest vulnerable members during the recent surge of COVID-19. We also understand that vaccination among this age group may stimulate additional questions or concerns on the safety and efficacy of vaccinations." Drager tells me she still has a lot of those.
It could do anything, and we don't know, and that's what I worry about.
If approved, children in this age group may begin receiving the shots as early as March. Eric?
Thanks, Rachel. Governor J.B. Pritzker unveils his $45 billion Illinois budget plan. It was part of Pritzker's final State of the State address before voters decide whether to give him a second term this fall. The spending plan calls for an expansion of the state's healthcare workforce. Additional cash will be pumped into early childhood and K-12 education funds. An extra $500 million will pay down pension debt. In response to growing inflation, the governor wants to suspend state grocery taxes and stop a scheduled increase in the gasoline tax. And around 2 million homeowners will be eligible for property tax rebates.
Government must continue to do everything possible to help people recover. With all our efforts over the last 2 years, city, county, state, federal, we're seeing signs of progress every single day.
Pritzker did not mention Rockford or any other state-line city by name in his address. Coming up tonight at 6, local lawmakers on both sides of the aisle weigh in on the state of the state.
Senator Dick Durbin is defending President Biden's pledge to nominate the first black woman to the Supreme Court. The president's expected to announce his pick for the Supreme Court by the end of the month. He's repeatedly said he plans to nominate a black woman to the court who is also a candidate with character and the qualities of a judge. Justice Stephen Breyer's retirement gives the president the chance to fulfill that pledge.
I can tell you, of those that have just been named that I've read about, there are some extraordinary achievements that they have managed to put into their resumes in the course of their lives.
Many Republicans say race and gender shouldn't be a factor in Biden's decision. Senator Susan Collins said it politicizes the nominee process. But Durbin points out that Republican presidents did the same thing.
Byron's nuclear energy plant is no longer operated by Exelon. The facility broke away from the corporation and is now known as part of Constellation. Based in Baltimore, Constellation bills itself as a leading carbon-free energy producer, powering more than 20 million homes and businesses across the country. The change is not expected to impact Byron taxes or plant employees' jobs. Last year, the facility faced closure, but the Illinois General Assembly's energy bill saved it.
A state-line restaurant chain is getting a little smaller. Mary's Market will close its Roscoe location at the end of this week. The bakery and cafe still operates its restaurants on East 8 and Perryville in Rockford. The Edgebrook location is temporarily closed. Roscoe community members can still contact Mary's Market for catering services. Meanwhile, a Rockford brewery that closed its doors amid the pandemic officially reopens. Carlyle Brewing Company has returned to its downtown setting. Right now, only the bar side of the space is open. The shuffleboard area will reopen in the future. A post on the Carlyle Facebook page says they're excited to be back and are rebuilding their staff.
A Rockford nonprofit that brings joy to young adults battling cancer gets a financial boost. Nick's Wish received a grant from the Community Foundation of Northern Illinois. The $6,000 gift will grant one wish for a person in the fight of their life. Nick's Wish works with patients who are too old for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Nick Ritchell's mom, who created the foundation, says the grant is extra special because Nick would have turned 31 this week.
He would be ecstatic to see his wish come true, to see young adults getting that gift of hope. He knew how important that gift of hope was and how special to be able to do this just on his birthday week as well. So it's a big day for us. So thanks to the Rockford community.
Nick's Wish has made more than 230 dreams come true across the country. The nonprofit relies on donations and volunteers.
As another winter storm moves through the Midwest, the eyes of the nation turn to Pennsylvania. Today, Punxsutawney Phil made his prediction. The annual ceremony in Gobbler's Knob returned to an in-person event after it went virtual in 2021. Thousands of people were on hand to catch a glimpse of Punxsutawney Phil. The tradition dates back to 1887, when Christians would take their candles to church to have them blessed for the remainder of the winter. As for Phil's 2022 prediction,
with my shadow I have cast, then a long, lustrous 6 more weeks of winter.
6 more weeks of winter, but don't put too much stock into the news. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, Punxsutawney Phil is accurate about 40% of the time.
Thousands of American soldiers deployed to Europe. The move is a response to no signs of military de-escalation along the Ukrainian border.
Our Washington correspondent Hannah Brandt breaks down the deployment as she keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
The Pentagon announced Wednesday more troops are headed to Europe, but they emphasize that this is a defensive military move meant to protect Ukraine from Russia. American troops are on the move.
A clear signal that we're not going to tolerate aggression against our NATO allies.
Pentagon spokesman John Kirby says the plan is to send about 2,000 troops from Fort Bragg, North Carolina to Poland and Germany, and to move 1,000 American soldiers already in Germany to Romania.
These are not permanent moves. They are moves designed to respond to the current security environment. Moreover, these forces are not going to fight in Ukraine.
Russia calls the deployment unnecessary and destructive. But even in the past few days, the country has continued building up forces on the Ukrainian border.
There is one aggressor here. That aggressor is Russia. They are the ones who are threatening to invade a sovereign country.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell agrees with the move, but says he would have liked to see it happen sooner.
Vladimir Putin's campaign to forcibly redraw the map of the European continent is on the verge of massive escalation.
He's also calling for the U.S. to impose sanctions now.
To impose serious costs that could actually change Putin's calculus.
Military leaders say they're still hoping Russia decides to de-escalate, and they say what the U.S. does next depends on that decision.
It's precisely because we can't be perfectly predictive that we want to be prepared and we want to be ready.
The 8,500 American troops put on high alert last week will remain on alert, but they aren't being deployed just yet. In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, for some this morning when you got up, you had to shovel or use the snow blower. That was primarily south of Rockford. I know we had about 1.5 inches to 2 inches down where I live in northern DeKalb County. A little more the further south you went, where the advisory was in effect and is still in effect. But closer to the state line, southern Wisconsin, here in Rockford, a dusting to nearly nothing at all, and nowhere near the heavy snow like what they've picked up just to the south and to the east of us. A live look with the Mercial SkyTrack camera now out in Rochelle. You see a little fresh coating of some lighter snow down there, but you go a little bit further up to the north in a place like Beloit and you've got no snow on the ground. So quite a difference in just a short amount of time. The snowfall, the heavy snow that they had to our south and east beginning to wrap up, although not before it produced anywhere from 7, 8, 9, 10 inches of snow. You just had to go out to Kane County, DuPage, parts of Cook County, Will, LaSalle County, dealing with some pretty significant snowfall. In fact, as we look with one of our, we were going to look with one of our cameras down in Champaign, a lot more snow down across parts of central and east central Illinois here. We've got a little bit of a break from some of that, or at least the areas to the south, before round number 2 with the next low pressure system begins to move in. This bringing some rain, some freezing rain, sleet, snow down across parts of Texas, Oklahoma. That is also going to wrap up to the south of us, but primarily be to our south here as we go through the night tonight. So let's look at this as we expand our futurecast just a bit. There is going to be a band of lake effect snow with the wind coming in and kind of shifting around to the northeast off of Lake Michigan. Here's that second round of snow, but again, primarily falling to the south. So might get as far north as Interstate 88. So once again, our far southern counties, you've got Lee, southern DeKalb County, maybe out towards Whiteside County, but I don't think it's going to be too much of an impact there. Most of this is going to stay to our south as we go through the night tonight as high pressure continues to build in. So all we're doing is just feeding in that dry air here as we go through the overnight tonight. That'll help break up some of the cloud cover a little bit for the afternoon tomorrow, but it is going to feel cold. Temperatures tomorrow are going to be stuck in the teens as we're down into the single digits for both tonight and then tomorrow night. We'll fill back in some of the cloud cover as we go throughout the afternoon on Friday. There's a quick moving clipper system that comes in Friday afternoon, may give us a flurry or two, but nothing looks accumulating with that. Temperatures are actually going to rebound in the 20s here once we do get into the weekend. As far as conditions are concerned locally, as with the wind, that's where we have to be a little bit on the concern side, especially where we saw some of that snow come down earlier last night and earlier this morning. Northerly winds about 10 to 20 miles per hour. There has been some blowing and drifting snow in some of those open areas south of Rockford. So if you're down in that area, just know conditions may be a little slick. Temperatures are in the teens currently, and that wind chill factor dropping back below 0. Our wind chills here as we go through the night tonight are going to fall back as low as 10 below by tomorrow morning. Our weather watcher Bob here on the southeast end of Rockford had about 1/10 of an inch of snow, and that's primarily what we got too at the Rockford airport, so just a dusting for us. 18 tomorrow. Wind chills will be in the single digits for tomorrow afternoon, down below 0 again tomorrow night, up to 20 on Friday, near 30 once we get into Saturday. And guys, I think we do hit the 30s, at least briefly, once we get into early next week.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
Well, there are 2 major national signing days that impact high school athletes, especially football players. One happens in mid-December. The other one happens in early February, or in this case, today. So we start at North Boone, where Vikings playmaker Will Dutch signed a letter of intent with Concordia University St. Paul in Minnesota. That's an NCAA Division II program. The Golden Bears play in the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference. Dutch was an All-Big Northern Conference and All-State football player for North Boone. Last season, he led the conference with 86 receptions for almost 1,200 yards and 16 touchdown catches. What led him to sign with Concordia?
I was talking to this one coach that was coaching at Augustana University and in South Dakota, and he switched to Concordia St. Paul. Like, he got a job there, and I just sent him my film after my senior year, and he just texted me and he liked the film and all that, and they run a spread offense like we do, so that's good. I'm pretty excited about that. They want to use me as an inside receiver.
At Boylan 2A All-Nick 10 lineman Matthew Logan signed. He signed with Valparaiso University in Indiana. Valpo is an FCS Division I program. The Beacons compete in the Pioneer Football League. Logan shined at offensive tackle and defensive tackle for the Titans, and Valpo, the plan is to start him off on the offensive side of the ball.
This is my dream. I always thought about this when I was a kid, wanted to sign in front of my friends and everything, in front of my school, and it feels good to finally be here, and it makes me feel proud of myself.
Boylan soccer players Kaylin Abraham So and Isabella Sparrow also signed with St. Ambrose and with Wisconsin Platteville. Sparrow also kicked for Boylan's football team. Hononegah quarterback Isaac Wizenan signed with Ellsworth Community College. Ellsworth is an NJCAA Division I program located in Iowa Falls, Iowa. Wizenan helped lead Hononegah's football team to a 9-0 regular season and the Nick 10 championship last fall. Hononegah also won a pair of playoff games and reached the state quarterfinals in Class 7A. At Harlem, 11 football players signed with colleges. Defensive tackle Elmarian Bell's the one player signed with the Division I program. He'll play for Western Illinois University. Linebacker Adrian Paulo signed with Division II Davenport University in Grand Rapids. The other players will head to NCAA Division III programs, junior colleges, and one to an NAIA program. Harlem coach Bob Moynihan's proud to see so many of his guys move up to the next level.
You know, every year is special, to be honest with you, but this class cemented the culture. And that's, I owe them a lot for just doing that. And obviously you can see by how many are signing and going on to play, they cemented a great culture.
Congrats to all of them. We'll be right back.
Most of us in this area dodged that big storm.
Yeah, you only had to go 50, 60 miles east or south, and you're shoveling out nearly a foot of snowfall.
Well, even as close as DeKalb, but they got close to 2 inches.
Yeah,
so
DeKalb.
It's not that far away.
Yeah, the city of DeKalb got 2 inches. I think I probably shoveled about 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and I'm just north of there. So you go maybe even 15 miles north, and you got no snow at all, hardly. Just a dusting too here in Rockford. That round is moving out. For us, we are not going to see that second round move in, but it is going to come across central southern Illinois, and that's going to bring more snowfall. For us, it's just the cold that settles in. Now, I will say areas that had a little bit of snow, there's been blowing and drifting snow, primarily south of Rockford, so those will cause some slick spots. Temperatures through the 20s and 30s into next week.
All right, thanks, Candace.
And thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.